man, that was some stuff. But that is neither here nor there. We're getting into it with Team AON versus Team Xeno. And I know that the Xeno team got off to kind of a rough start. They did not show up on time. So, that'll do it to you. But we are running the Swiss bracket format, a format very commonly seen in card games, not very much in a fighting game setting, but it's been very interesting. We get to see a lot of different matchups. Basically, the way that the Swiss format works is that you're paired up against teams with the same record as you, or similar records as you. As you know, I think because there's an even number of teams, you're going to play somebody that has the same record as you.
It's like a modified round robin of sorts because of how things are working.
You get more games out of a Swiss bracket. But we are in the process of getting controllers ready. So, like you said, you're going to be opening it up with Suarez versus Gen. This is an interesting draw for at least the first match of the day.
Indeed. Yoshi versus Palutena is not a matchup that we really see often as far as outside of Long Island. So even within the confines of Tristate, this is a bit of a unique matchup. And it's kind of difficult to study it as well because a lot of people look to Suarez for the Yoshi tech. He's one of the leading players of the character.
Yep, and Suarez's stock has been steadily on the rise as the game came out. Obviously breaking out with that Let's Make Moves performance has continued to build on a really impressive resume. And Gen, same deal. He's been a little bit stagnant as of late. He hasn't really been, he's been working out of Fox, hasn't really been playing too much of the Palutena, but still understands the weight of the situation right here and is starting off with the Palutena. So we'll see how this works out here, Hangman.
It's also worth noting that these are best of one sets during this particular pool.
Yes.
So whoever wins this, they get their point for their team. And it's 3 points to victory. So
so not everybody ends up having to play. It's first to three, pretty much.
Yes. It's first to three of the squad, and then the order of which is also randomized. So the fact that we're leading off with the first seeds of each of the teams is coincidental. There have been sets that have led with our thirds, fourths, fifths, etc.
Yeah, it's an interesting format. Keeps everyone operating at a smooth pace. But right now, we find ourselves in an even game right here. Suarez doing a good job using that great aerial mobility of Yoshi to get himself out of trouble. And again, using that excellent tool of the Nair out of shield to get that stock on Gen. So the AON team up first for the time being.
Yeah, but it's going to be a very big matter as to how far can Suarez stretch this lead that he has. The percentage lead on Palutena is so important because if Gen opts to be patient, the approach tools that Yoshi has aren't exactly the best for fighting against Palutena. He's going to have to be very selective about where he approaches and how he returns to the stage as Gen manages to tie things up.
Yeah, that was a great read on the air dodge right there. And he also faked the drop down and then picked up the air dodge with the up air jumping back onto the stage. But nonetheless, now Gen's going right back here to work. Suarez is going to have to find a way out of this advantage right now.
A lot of the counterplay to Palutena has to do with how well you can contest her in the air. If you could stifle her mobility or stuff out any of her hitboxes in the air, that's half the battle. But Yoshi's also in the same boat. He wants to dominate the air, and a lot of his tools are that air to ground to air. So while these characters have very different tools and how they use them, it's kind of the same gameplay.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Yoshi and Palutena, obviously, I think Palutena has one of the best tools, or the best kits to kind of challenge Yoshi air to air, because he's a really difficult character to fight in the air, as that back air does take the stock, just because of double jump armor is such a factor. But Gen's has really made that a non-factor so far. He's been putting out the perfect hitboxes to kind of break Yoshi out of the DJ armor. But finds himself back on the ledge here.
The ledge play it's going to be rough for Suarez, just because there's only so much that he can do with his double jump armor. The Flutter Jump's armor is super useful for Nair, and that's about it, because up air's going to be able to crack it.
You know what? Cracked eggs, that's all I got in the back of my mind.
Egg puns. Twitch chat, do the work for us.
Woo! Ooh, great cross-up right there in the back. That's going to kill. Goodness gracious.
Suarez loves that back air. The reach on it, it's not the greatest of disjoints, but it's one that Yoshi can claim to his own. Kind of hard to SDI when it's part of combos.
Cannot stand the noise it makes, though.
That wet slap. the moist tail.
All right, so Suarez finds himself on the ropes here. Gen one stock away from securing the point here for Team Xeno, but ooh!
Oh, I love it when he does that.
Yeah, the gastroacids are flowing right now for Suarez, but Gen still finds himself pretty comfy in the lead right now. But let's see if he's going to be able to secure this stock. Suarez is doing a really good job of staying elusive in these last hit situations. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're stagnant, give your opponent the opportunity to reset neutral.
I think it's just like Gen needs to be selective about what hitboxes he swings with. I love that he's using Bear to try to check Suarez and up air to anti-air. Very classic play, and it's working out as Team House of 3000 takes point one.
Yeah, and as you can see, you know, Suarez a little disappointed in himself right there. You know, that, again, you know, this is, it dems the breaks. It's a very cutthroat, you know, format we're in right now, but Gen will come out on top right there, so that is point one for House of 2000. So like we said, play into 3, folks.
For what it's worth, coming into this bracket, everyone recognized that Gen would be one of the hardest opponents across any team. So getting that pain out of the way might be good for Team AON. Like, my biases aside, now, like, that's one of the toughest opponents. It's one of the toughest players in all of New York. And now he can't carry the rest of his team. Everyone's going to have to do their equal share.
Yep, exactly. So I guess we're going to go in sequential order in seeds, I'm assuming, potentially. Is that how it's going to work out?
It's weird because I haven't seen, like, a sequential order yet of the plays. So now it's a matter of seeing, like, do we get the 3rd seeds? Do we get the 2nd seeds? And then from there, we'll know the matchup. So it's really just, like, on RJ's call of this particular round of play, like where we're going.
We shall see how that works out, but once again, shout outs to all the fantastic weeklies that are here. I'm really impressed with everybody that showed up today. We have weeklies represented from all across the Tri-State region. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Hope you guys are enjoying teams on the opposite side of the streams right now. We got Hazmat and Brosalina holding it down for you.
And that's over for grands with them. And actually, that's a reset bracket, so if you're trying to catch that for the game 1, you're just in time. But make sure to stick around here, because right now we got, what was that, player 4 going in out, as always.
Against
his car was late today, too.
The Regimobile failed, man.
You know, he also, to continue the tragedy that is Team AON, earlier in our rounds of play, we had to see Team DNA versus AON. And round 1 was our 5th seeds playing, which is Juuuuul. So we finally got a chance to see the Robin in action.
Right.
Here's the problem. After Team AON won their first round of play, player 4 decided to go to McDonald's with Juuuuul. And guess what happened? We see a DQ in the play. So we lose game 1 off default. So that we didn't lose the set, we lost that game 1. Game 2, DNA has Wario fighting off against Kofi.
Yes, Clune.
Clune, Clutchmaster Flex. Because it comes down to the last stocks.
He farted on him, didn't he?
Got him with a read. Woo! Up he goes. And now, Team AON down 2 games. And so everyone else on the team, pissed, angry, rocks the rest of DNA. But yo, if we weren't shaking, I'd be lying. But that's how our road has been. And I know earlier in the stream we got a chance to see.
I was going to say that Reggie accidentally went to Delaware or something.
Not again, please. I'm not trying to see Waterbury, New Jersey represented here.
That's like one of my top 5 favorite Reggie carpool stories of all. That's like legendary.
That carpool had a lot of legendary. We had Kofi in the trunk. He rode in the trunk on purpose.
Oh God.
Speaking of Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi, Falco main hailing for Team AON right here. Obviously, I'd say sort of a household name at this point, maybe an urban legend. You might hear him in passing. He's appeared on many a stream here in the Northeast, famously winning the last stock qualifier for Genesis all the way back in January?
Yes.
Jeez. It's April, man. Avengers comes out in like 2 weeks.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
The hype is real. Joker comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Joker's gonna be in Avengers. Wait, no, that's...
Yo, sweet. We're gonna steal Thanos' heart.
I'm gonna give my blessings right now to Law, who took the L, waited in queue on Fandango for 3 hours to get tickets for us.
Bless. Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, but here we go. We're finally getting into it.
Is going to be the 3rd seed for Team House of 3000. Another player back on the national radar after an excellent placement at Collision. So
yeah, man. Frozen's always been one of the, I don't want to say like the best kept secret, but like you tend to kind of forget about him sometimes, as he has his religious proverb as his controller tag 3.02. Thou shalt not teleport cancel in my in my real game. Nonetheless, though, like you said, a stellar performance at the most recent collision, and definitely looking to make his mark here. And already off the bat, Kofi finds himself in a world of pain right now.
Talk about a stellar performance. How about the start to this game? Look at this. Even trying to end it out early with the down air, but instead we're going to get the reversal and a very strong start to this game, too.
Interesting use of the down air right there out of the up throw from Kofi. But again, the Spacey's Achilles heel is rearing its ugly head where you cannot pass through people's shields, with side B. But after kind of a rough start for Kofi, he's able to bring it back. The side B comboing into the back air, but now has Frozen in the blender.
All of a sudden, we're looking at an even game. This was looking like a very strong start for Frozen, but that's just the nature of the beast. You fight Paolo in the air, all of a sudden you're fighting back on even ground, and that's something that Kofi has shown excellence with.
And I was gonna say the one calling card that Frozen does have is that he's one of the best Palutainas I've seen at ledge canceling everything. And obviously you're not gonna see as much of that in FD as the side B to up air combos, the Sakurai combo stays very true. Is it really a Sakurai combo with Falco? I don't know.
Listen, it's how the bird is intended to kill, I think. He kills up and nowhere but.
There you got it. But yeah, I was going to say the FD's probably, you're not going to see, I don't want to say too much of the utilization of the ledge cancel because he did it earlier, but there's going to be less room for him to kind of like mix up his movement options just because of the way that the stage is laid out.
Right.
That Shidak will take the stock though. That is a reliable kill option around the 130, 140 range. And
it's also just a good reversal option in general because of the intangibility on the shield. That upper body intangibility helps so much.
Yeah, Captain America wish he had that shield. Interesting combo with the up tilt to the back air. Again, Falco is just kind of like an enigma. You don't really see much of this character outside of, your character specialists, depending on what region you live in, but none of them are at the level of Kofi. Is again, almost getting a combo out of that down air right there. So Frozen definitely looking to, be on alert here for that.
Yeah, Kofi's been experimenting lately with how he can utilize Falco's kit, and the down air hitting with late to just sort of check air responses has been a really strange adaptation. Because sometimes he gets a combo out of it, other times he's just occupying airspace. He just wants to juggle. It's how he's gotten the second to last stock off of Frozen, and it's how he garners a lot of stage pressure, even if he's like kind of stretching for it, because it's not that much of an overextension.
And look at this combos coming up from Kofi. It's not looking like a lot of damage right now, but he's just making it work. He's keeping Frozen in disadvantage. That could have been really bad for him. And again, getting the pop-up hit of the Falco Phantasm.
Dancing at the ledge, very dangerous for Kofi given the percentages at hand. But see if Frozen can do anything as he sets the off-stage play with the back throw.
Yeah, if I were Frozen, I'd be a little bit careful going off stage like that for those edge guards, because Kofi definitely has it in the back of his mind. It's like, okay, if he overextends, I'm just gonna go for the suicide side B or something like that.
Right.
There we go. Frozen not taking too much. Obviously, less than 60% is huge in a last stock situation. So let's see if he's gonna be able to make up the ground here as Kofi continues to reset the situation.
Yeah, considering this is against a combo-oriented character, the 60% is going to mean a lot as far as Kofi's lead is concerned. But how about that? Jumping from the ledge gets you caught with the boots, and we've got a score of 1-1.
Yeah, so we are all tied up here. So really good job there from Kofi, rebounding after that, after Suarez could not get the job done against Jen. So,
and for what it's worth, Frozen's a very terrifying player to play against.
Yeah.
The fact that Game 2 brought us to Final Destination, very fortunate for Kofi's behalf. Oh, what is about to happen? Okay. Oh, no. So, fifth seeds are upon us.
So it's going to be HelpR versus Juuuuul.
Oh, my God.
Man.
We're really about to see DDD Robin.
I forgot HelpR plays DDD.
Or Belmont.
Ooh, I'd like that. Please, can I get an order of that, sir?
Hey, listen, all I know is that if y'all were looking for some spicy play, none are going to deliver it better than Deadly Alliance's own Juuuuul. This man... Did you see the set that happened here previous to us?
No, I did not.
Koogie Cougs lived a good life. He lived a good life, and then Juuuuul decided it was time to up air, up taunt, and then continue his combo. Absolutely vile amounts of disrespect.
Man, how's he going to do that to newly minted number 12 in New Jersey, Koogie Cougs, man?
He's looking to collect his wins early.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, but... We will have the fifth seeds here. Obviously, Juuuuul, kind of the topic of the last couple of weeks. Great success story coming out of New York. The kind of like the Rocky example of a Smash player. He's been steadily, placing in the top 8s and the top 3s of Xeno, and finally won his big dance on Tuesday in a reset against Mr. E, which was a fantastic set to watch, honestly.
Past couple of months, I've been helping Juuuuul and Jill come out to AON. That way they can just get further on the grind, because both of them showing so much promise in the city's atmosphere that I figure, get that cross-breed, that cross-pollination for Long Island and NYC, and it's showing wonders. Consistently top-8ing Xenos and AONs is no joke.
But if the Long Island Railroad cooperates with you, that's the...
Hey, listen, over a 2-month period, it's got to work sometimes. It has to work eventually.
You think?
What?
Huh? Wait, that's a thing?
On God?
The heck?
All right, so... Okay, button check, boys. My ankles are shattered. Absolutely rendered asunder. But, hey, at least our controllers will work.
We'll see how this works out. I mean, obviously...
I don't...
Something projectile, something reflector. This could all just be a smokescreen from HelpR.
I would very much believe this to be a smokescreen, but also HelpR is just like... This is just his way of reminding people that he played Brawl.
Yeah, I love this. This is my favorite Sonic level from Brawl.
Ah, yes.
Without a doubt. I gotta say, shout outs to Sonic Lost World. I don't think that game was as bad as the critics made it out to seem.
Oh, critics definitely ripped that game apart for no good reason. It's a very linear Sonic game.
It was very linear and very uncreative, but it was like playable. It was fun.
Playable and it had a good soundtrack and good writing for a story.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Also, speedruns are hysterical.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Because the first 20 minutes starts with you farming wisps, and then you just like blast through the level by breaking it in two.
It's so funny, man. Oh, man.
Support Sega whenever there's a Sonic game coming.
Yeah, man. Actually, my favorite Sonic speedrun to watch is actually Heroes.
Really?
Because that game is just, you can just immortally break that game. It's really fun.
My favorite is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but I'm biased because I run that game. Like, I will...
That's a fun game to watch, man.
It's so fun. I love it. I hate the mech missions, but I have every Master Emerald piece memorized. That was my childhood, by the way.
Man, you're great, because that's how you get the A ranks and everything. You have to, like...
Get them fast.
Shout outs to Mad Space, is what I would say, if I liked Mad Space. Anyway, here we go, folks. This is indeed not a smoke screen. This is the HelpR Falco. So let's see how this works out here against Juuuul's Robin.
So this is going to be very interesting to see, just because I know Falco is a character that Juuuuul has been grinding on the side, like heavy, and on top of that, plays against Kofi quite frequently. So he has matchup experience as far as the character's concerned.
But he's also just got hit by like 6 lasers without doing anything. So
yeah, play style-wise, this is a completely different animal. This bird is laying dormant for the winter. HelpR, most people don't recognize. He's a bit of an unorthodox player, but he's also fairly patient, so you can expect that campy play to come out of him. And it's also a very good countermeasure to a character like Robin.
Ooh, but just like that, Juuuuul is able to close the gap right now. You're going to see a lot of really crisp movement coming up from Juuuuul. A lot of beer versus with the Thunders, using the L-Fire, the Arc Fire, kind of how the Belmont similarly would use Holy Water. Keeping it trapped at the ledge. That, I believe that was up smash or down smash.
That was down smash.
There we go.
The startup of it actually picking off. But it's going to be Levin Nair that manages the stock.
And that was such a huge shade for Robin, man. Like, the added damage you're able to get out of the Levin Nair, it just makes such a huge difference. That could have been really bad for HelpR right there if he got nicked by the L-Win. But right back to Arc on the ledge right there. And the mix-up with the Firebird, very nice from HelpR.
The book confirming a very strange interaction. And Juuuul's got to wait a little bit out. He's got no Levin charge, just got his Arc Fire back.
How much you think HelpR's just like, oh, Kofi was doing that? Yeah, I can do that.
He's like, ooh, that was crispy. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that, HelpR said. All right, tying up the stocks. Not too much damage built up onto himself. This is super doable.
Yeah, so let's see what goes on here as HelpR able to break zone with the forward air. But again, the damage just comes so swiftly with Robin with the Levin sword right there. He's got one swing and 11 sword left before it is done for, and he makes a count with the down air hang, man.
Amazing play. I'm so biased for this man's Robin, but honestly, you can't help but marvel at the movement and the damage output. I would say he's like good sip of a slurm.
All right, well, right now, HelpR on the ropes right now. Great use of the up air into the back air. Looking like Cloud Strife out here with some of these conversions.
He just gets his picks and he knows what to do with them. It's a lot of power, but I'll be the last person to ever count out HelpR. This man's style of play can catch anybody off guard, regardless of whatever character he's picking.
All right, able to re-grab the 11 sword again. Just gonna get some quick chip damage for it. Gonna have to wait a little bit for that sword to recharge. You can tell by the health bar at the bottom.
Yeah, juggling the items is one of the greatest things that Juuuuul brings to the table because it's such a strong juke. And there, clutches it out in defiant fashion. Juuuuul taking another point, and now AON is on set point as we set the score 2-1.
Yeah, he almost hit him with the War and Peace right there. Beating him to death with the books, looking like a teacher's convention or something. But
get him out of there, man. Do your homework.
Yeah. Nonetheless, great display right there from Juuuuul. Deadly Alliance's Juuuuul. I love watching Robin, man. This character is so much fun to watch. I love watching people play these technical, high learning curve characters because Lord knows I can't do that myself.
It's one thing to look at Robin because Robin's a very complex character that got just the right buffs to fit the engine for Ultimate. But I feel like it's a whole nother level to look at Juuuuul's Robin because his movement is unlike any other.
Oh, yeah.
As far as other top Robins are concerned, Dath is back on the forefront with the character. Athena's still staying alive, but neither of them have that movement like Juuuuul's. Very unique to him, and it's working out so well. In such a hard region, too, gotta put respect on the name, gimmick or no gimmick.
Oh,
but
yeah.
No more Robins for now. Now we've got a little bit more standardized plays. We're back on the Palu train with UtopianRay representing AON and Dill breaking out the Rob.
Yeah, we're going to have the old-fashioned battle of religion versus technology coming up for the folks at home. So,
Yo, the young Inquisitor Ray. Man, better hit him with the Deus Volt.
See, I love saying these snide names because I know it makes Chris laugh.
Oh, this man's dying over there.
All right,
you
folks.
think we're professional here? Not looking good like that.
Absolutely not. Listen to my podcast, nonetheless, though. We are getting off to a button check here. Can we just play here? Come on,
honestly, can we roll this stage?
Can I get some Snake Eater, please?
Yo, let me get the Snake Eater remix is so... You have no idea how hard I popped off when they were still doing the releases of music every Tuesday, I think it was, as this game was coming out, and oh my god.
Yeah, man. Big fan of Snake Eater. That is a song and a half.
I'm a huge fan of James Bond films. So, that remix, it's so well fitted.
It's great.
The beginning of, a Bond film. It's so similar to so many themes. Oh. Also, Metal Gear is, one of my favorite game series.
What's your favorite Bond film?
Die Another Day.
It's a good one. I'm a big fan of Casino Royale myself. That is
very good one.
Great movie. Excellent torture scene, too.
It is a good one. It exists. I'll give it to you, man.
Only the movie buffs in the chat are going to know what we're talking about, and they're all, cracking up right now. Anyway, here we go, folks. UtopianRay going up against Dill here. So, like we said, this is match point right here for Team Xeno.
And if you want to see a real torture scene, you're about to see Palutena versus a big body character. Even though Dill is incredibly adept at controlling space with Rob, he's still large. He's still going to be susceptible to a lot of counterplay that Ray can overextend. He'll still find a combo out of it. Forward air is going to be able to pick apart a lot of projectile pressure from the top. Side B is not going to be able to reach as much because back air from Palu just checks so much. It's going to be a rough battle.
We'll see how everything squares out here. Great use of the gyro right there. Gets the jab lock. But it looks like whatever Ray was trying to go for right there did not work in his favor. Still gets the stock regardless.
Bro, I didn't even know Palu has jab locks. That's so gross.
Oh, yeah, every character does.
It never even occurred to me. I just figured the character's combo game is so good in the air. Why would she need it?
But there we go. In that exchange, science comes out on top of religion right there. So great job right there from Dill. Closing the gap, because that's kind of the hard part about about playing a character like Rob. These leads can slip away from you really fast, especially because, you might start to overextend a little bit. And when you're a huge character like Rob, once you start overextending, like you said, you're going to get open up for a lot of this chip damage, a lot of this, frame traps just there, stuff like that. And as you see, Ray just continuing to keep Dill in the hot seat.
Good call out on the jumps from ledge. Unfortunately, it's a habit of Dill's that Ray is able to pick apart on a fairly consistent basis. And there's not really much that Rob can do when he's pressed to the corner that hard against Palutena. There's only so many zoning tools that he could use. He can't really throw out a smash attack just because they're all particularly laggy. And don't have the best of hitboxes to cover.
And where Dill's really getting blown up here is on these platforms. Because Rob is so big, even if he tech rolls away, there's still a chance he's going to get nicked by something. So that's just going to be no fun for anybody. But regardless, Ray's opened up a huge lead right here. And again, just continuing to keep, Dill on his feet. Good job mixing it up with both the explosive flame and the auto reticle.
He managed to go through that entire song and dance and reading what was going to happen, and somehow manages to just blow him up. All of a sudden, Xeno on their last lifeline here. And fun fact, Palutena is the only character with Rob where he cannot consistently get a down throw follow-up. Normally, they get up smash or turn around up smash, but there's something about her particular weight and frame where Rob has to reposition himself in order to get any follow-up and kills.
Oh, interesting.
She's like the only one, and it's super weird. And it's like,
these damn goddesses have everything, man.
Of course, it's this one character in this one region.
Yeah, the one relevant. I was gonna say, it's like the one top tier you wanted to work against. There we go. That long-lasting side B coming out from Dill, and now Team Xeno still has a shot here.
Yeah, one thing you got to give credit to Dill for is that no matter how bleak a lot of these advantageous situations look for UtopianRay, he's like still staying in it, he's still being able to check him, and he's also been able to tie up these stocks without taking a lot of percentage. He took almost nothing in his second to last stock, and staying on his last, he also took very little. So, all things considered, this is still a very tight race.
Oh, yeah.
Even as Ray starts to build up the percentage and garner a ton of stage control.
That laser saving Dill's bacon right there as he was on path to get nicked by that explosive flame again, leaving it so close to the blast zone. It just makes it so hard for Dill to have to react, waste all that valuable gas that he's going to be able to get back now that he landed. But still, continues to get thrown right back into the blender right there.
Yeah, one thing that needs to be appreciated is how well Dill is saving his jump amongst using his up B.
No way!
And a back air call out with a wayward air dodge. Directional air dodge has sent you a tiny bit backwards. And just like that, Team Xeno popping off as we go into Game 5. And now second seeds are going to have to fight each other. Last remaining players.
So that means it's going to be
Stocktaker
and
KingArc.
Ooh, that's going to be
fun. A very entertaining battle for those at home. This is going to be Villager versus Mega Man. However, it's worth noting, Stocktaker has a 3-0 record on KingArc as of the end of Season 1.
All right, how about that?
Super positive, despite the matchup tending to be viewed as favoring Mega Man slightly or even.
All right.
Stocktaker just feels super comfortable fighting KingArc. He has a very good record, as I just mentioned, but now it's a high-pressure situation.
Yeah, we'll see, if the change in environment makes things a little bit different. But obviously, KingArc, another player that has been on a hot streak as of late. He just recently won a Xeno too, right?
Yes. So his fun fact with his win on Xeno, he got his first Xeno win the very night after version 2.0 dropped, which was the update that took away the macro canceling from Mega Man's Leaf Shield.
How about that?
So my man's made a statement. He was like, Mega Man nerfed? I don't think so.
You thought, and obviously Stocktaker, Rock and Gen Game, as you said, one of the production teams you'll be seeing throughout this fine weekend.
I love my team. Love them to pieces. You're going to see them on the free roam camera. You're going to see them with the photo album after this. I know we got Tristate's finest out there with their cameras ready to click. Pay attention to Lassie. Pay attention to Ruffian. Pay attention to Dark. They're out there.
Yeah, man.
Tri-State is nice on every front.
We out here, as we are here in the glorious, we are technically outside of the Helix eSports venue. This is actually where we hold our, this is the venue where I believe the Forge is held on once every month, so.
Same building, same parking lot, just slightly up ahead.
Same Taco Bell across the street.
Yo, what is up with this town? What is North Bergen? Why is it 3 different layers?
North Bergen's deep, man.
Yeah, it's elevation-wise, man. Why is there a 2-layer staircase to go up to a McDonald's?
Hey, man.
On street level, and none of this.
Don't ask questions you're not prepared to know the answer to. But here we go, folks. I gotta say, I forgot that Stocktaker plays the best villager ult of all time.
That's the Trap Queen.
Yeah. All right, you got it, man.
You gotta put respect on the name.
All right, but here we go. Let's see if, like I said, if KingArc is able to come out on top here for Team Xeno, or if Stocktaker will close things out for Team AON.
Being as the setting is Pokemon Stadium 2, I personally feel like this is going to favor Stock more. A lot of his more laterally oriented pressure is going to be great for countering KingArc's better hitboxes. Typically, we see Leaf Shield put down a ton of pressure for opponents against Mega Man, but what's that going to mean when he has to meet the tree, the Lloyd, any pocketed projectile as well, and then, of course, Fair and Bear.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that's going to kill KingArc here is being able to, get off, or when he's had to recover from deep. Obviously, Mega Man's recovery, you either have to commit to a high recovery above the ledge or just, risk getting hit by bowling ball because he does not have a hitbox on his up B like that. He's been doing a good job so far of getting around it, but, still has not shown in the damage department just yet. His Villager's Nair proven to be, a really good tool against Mega Man's best tool, neutral, probably the Metal Blade.
Yeah, the neutral air from Villager is just so quick. And while it might not be a projectile, it is such a good hitbox, and so's that tree. You put it at just the right spot on the ledge, it's going to bounce a little, it's going to fall, it's going to stay active that entire time, and Stock's going to take his lead.
Yeah, man. But here we go, the down throw to double fair combo. Still very potent here for Villager. And again, StockTiger has not been touched in the, until I open my big mouth. The old commentator's blessing my guy.
It ain't a show without one, man.
Yeah, but again, look, the Mega Man's big tool in neutral is obviously stuff like Metal Blade, stuff like, jump forward air. But StockTiger's been doing a really good job just weaving around these hitboxes from KingArc. He hasn't been able to get anything generated.
I'd also like to point out that Stock hasn't made an effort to pocket any tools. It's worth mentioning that Metal Blade is an item that can still be spawned regardless, and that is such an unfortunate situation for KingArc. The fact that he put out Crash Bomber, set off Lloyd Rocket early, and killed him for it. He could have just shielded or ran away, but instead, he's finding himself on his last Stock situation, and Stock is chilling right now, only at 80%.
Yeah,
running away with this.
Like, as strong as Mega Man is, he's not in any sort of danger of dying to anything crazy right now, unless he gets, up tilted or smash attacked near the ledge. Great use of the grab and the Lloyd Rocket, right, the gyroid.
Another tree, but... Oh, hold on now.
He's in a skull right now, man. Like, he knows what he's eating for breakfast tomorrow, how much he's making at work next week. Like, StockTiger's just look complete. Like, he's just shooting free throws at the gym at this point.
Ray's going for the read of reads, but not going to get it just yet. Quick forward smash, going to net some stage control for KingArc, but he's got to make this count. Isn't able to. Yo, the log came for him. My man's trying to get him with the timber.
Shout out to Kesha on it's coming down, and he's definitely yelling timber. He's just he's playing with his food right now at this point, man. Like,
I know Stock loves his jabs, and it is a decent jab, but forward smash would have ended it out. Up tilt could end this.
Yeah,
actually, Mega Man's a heavy boy. There's a chance he couldn't.
Gets a jab once again. Let's see how KingArc goes about getting off the ledge, or StockTiger's going to be able to get finish the job right here.
And back air's going to do it with a defiant three stock. And Juuuuul pop it off across the screen. He got right in Jen's face. Let him know that AON takes the win.
That is so funny, man. Oh, my God.
Hell yeah.
So are we having a circuit operating on both streams right now, Chris? Is that what's going on? Just out of curiosity for the people at home.
Yeah, so you can find the other stream, which has some more of these circuit matches on Switch.tv. Spectrum _Smash.
Spectrum.
Oh, so that's Spectrum and Mr. E's fighting for which team?
No, that is... So over there is House of 3000. We do have 3 streams while we've got the Tri-State circuit
Yes,
going,
that is true.
Also on